Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Planetary Reviews, and I am here today to give you my review for the Crash Bandicoot Remastered Trilogy. Man, I've been excited for this because growing up in the 90s, as a kid, I remember seeing all my friends playing Crash Bandicoot and having a great time. I didn't have a PlayStation 1. I had friends who had PlayStation 1s that I went over to and I played this game a lot. I really enjoyed each and every single one. That I have so many great memories, and I'm sure a lot of you do too with this franchise, because it was the franchise that, like, when you thought PlayStation 1, that was it. You remembered Crash Bandicoot. He was synonymous with PlayStation 1. So, were they able to do justice with this awesome franchise through this remaster? Well, let's talk about it. Alright, the story of this game, very simple. You're Crash Bandicoot, and you have to take down this crazy, nutty professor that wants to either take over the world or destroy the world half the time. And you have to defeat him by collecting crystals sometimes, by going through crazy little levels that have you jumping on boxes, dodging things, fighting stuff. All these crazy variety of different levels, and it's your job to save the world. And that's pretty much it. The story is not that deep, but it is very fun and simple, and kids were able to play it and have a good time and enjoy. This game really stands out with the gameplay, and if you remember, this is a platformer, and one of the first 3D platformers of the time. There were a couple more out there, but this was also one of the ones that really pushed the 3D element, because at the time, 3D was really just an experimental thing. We didn't perfect it yet, but this is a 3D platformer. And man, in this remaster, the gameplay is solid. It feels tighter, it feels more accurate, and at times it just feels a little bit harder, because I remember back in the day, the game wasn't so hard on you about, like, hey, if you look like you were about to miss a jump, you were able to, if you just got the tip of your shoe on your landing, you were able to make it. In this game, they fixed the physics of each game to be more modern and to be the best that it can be, but in the process of that, it does make it a bit tougher, so you really have to make sure you make those landings really accurate, or else you're going to be punished. So this game is a bit challenging for people, and if you don't like that, you might be a little turned off. But it isn't so challenging that you're going to sit there and be like, I don't ever want to play this game again. No, it just gives you a lot more challenge with the whole, like, be more accurate with your jumps, get used to the way the game works, and you will succeed. And also, they did not change any of the level design. All the levels are the same. They have the same music, which, by the way, when they remastered all the audio in this game, it all sounds fantastic. The music sounds awesome. And then when you hear the voice acting in this, everything sounds silky smooth, and it feels just like you remember it, just way prettier. And speaking of pretty, this game, all three of these games look awesome. When I first booted up Crash 1, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, they did such a really good job at bringing Crash into the modern era. He looks great. The fur on his body looks really detailed. The environments all look vibrant and colorful, and they all just have their own unique feel to it. And that is thanks to the great way that they just made this game look so good. And it runs beautifully. I did not have any hiccups or anything. The game runs smooth as butter. I loved it. The only thing, if you have a standard PS4, I did some research because I was playing on the PS4 Pro. If you're running on a standard, sometimes during the cutscenes, the frame rate might drop. That's the only negative I have about the standard PS4 version, but that's about it. During gameplay, you will be good. The frame rate will be steady and perform beautifully. Onward to the next thing. The gameplay in this game, as I said, for anyone who's never played it, it's simple and fun to get used to. You just got to get used to being more accurate with your jumps, but you will have a great time. Very simple controls and just very fun. This game was just a definition of fun, and it managed to capture that in this remaster. Also, like I said, the music in this game all sounds awesome with the great way that they remade the audio. They made it all sound silky smooth. You're going to enjoy hearing it in the main menu. You're going to be sitting there like, oh man, this is awesome. I get to sit there in the main menu and just listen to the music for a little bit. You'll still remember each and every single one of the tunes that you heard back in the day sounding awesome. And this game has tons of content and replay value, each and every single one of them. Because in these games, you don't just go through the level and you're done. There's tons of things that you can collect, find little other hidden collectibles, collect all the boxes. So even when you beat the game, you could still go back through each and every single one of them and each and every single level and try and get 100%. You don't have to, but there's tons of content if you want to do that. And also, like I said, this thing is 3 full games for the price of 40 bucks. You can't go wrong with that. 3 full games that were awesome and remastered beautifully. Awesome value, guys. If you want to talk about bang for your buck, this is it. 3 games. And also, I gotta say, this game, I was scared that it wasn't going to age well. I was scared that when I was going into this remaster, that was gonna be very... I didn't feel like the controls were gonna be that good. I didn't feel like the gameplay was gonna be able to hold up after all these years. And man, was I wrong. Going through all 3 of these games again felt awesome. All I had to do was do minor fixes here and there, but this feels perfect. This feels like a modern day game done great. Now, there were some negatives, not too many, just a couple. Oddly enough, there are some long load times in this game. Compared to in the originals, the load times were pretty quick. They wanted to keep you going to keep the kids entertained. In this one, I'm guessing it's because of the really good graphics and everything. Perhaps that's why there's so many load times, but it was something that was noticeable when you're playing the game. Like, wow, I have to go from... Every time you go to a different menu or go to a different level, there are like load screens constantly thrown in your face. So that was a little off-putting. I was like, alright, I guess. I mean, a little annoying, but... yeah, alright. And also, while the game does perform very well, my only question is, this is a platformer. Wouldn't it be better to have it perform at 60 FPS so you can have a more smooth experience and you can be more accurate with your jumps? Why stop at 30? I feel like we could have gone further with 60 so that the platforming could feel even better. But that's just me. I thought it was an odd choice to keep it at 30. Perhaps it was because of how awesome they made the graphics and they couldn't keep the frame rate so high with the quality of graphics that they had. But that was just a small complaint for me where I was like, I feel like with a platformer, it would greatly benefit with a 60 FPS. But anyway, guys, was the Crash Bandicoot Remastered Trilogy a great buy? Yes, it was. For $40, you're getting all 3 games remastered beautifully with amazing audio and smooth gameplay. And guys, the value in this package is amazing. At the end of the day, even with the small amount of flaws it does have, at the end of the day, the Crash Bandicoot Remastered Trilogy gets a solid A from me, guys. You guys should definitely go out and buy this if you're a fan of the franchise and you remember playing that all day on your PS1s. You should also go out there and buy this if you never played the Crash games before. Go out there, give it a try. It's 40 bucks and you get 3 full games. I think you're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be cool to look back at just how gaming has evolved from the old days. Because this one, he was one of the original guys. He was one of the big honchos for PlayStation. It's pretty cool to go back and be like, wow, so this is how Naughty Dog really got its beginning. So, guys, that's my review for the Crash Trilogy. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. My next review will be Spider-Man Homecoming. And then, after that, I heard that my next game review, I heard a game called Fortnite is coming out. I did some research on it, looked at it. I think I'm going to pick that game up. I'll do some videos on it. And I'll decide if I'm going to do a review on that. But that's definitely looking like the next game review. But, as always, guys, have a great day. And thank you so much for watching.